Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama.
We especially came up to be with you all, as this is not something like an ordinary pop festival where you don't see the promoters. they are somewhere, collected the money behind and then gone, Here we are part of we are listeners, we are audience, we are talkers, we are players, we can ask everything. And that's why Swami is all Swami's life. We are not separate from you all in any way, nor we feel that we are great teachers or gurus to initiate and to bless you and take you to the heaven. That's not the way our master Swami Shivananda taught us. He asked us to be simple, to be one with the humanity, and we are trying our level best. Still, we can never imitate our master. So this is why we are trying to bring a new type of understanding. And again, as I told you, it is not like the other type of festivals. We want to be with you and be part of you in every way. And we need your cooperation, your help in any way you can give. This is all I can talk. Now I'll ask Swami Satchidananda, my colleague, and Swami Vishnu-devananda, another colleague. We're all coming from same Sivananda Ashram. We lived with our master Swami Shivananda like brothers, and then we became spiritual brothers. And after master's departure, we all moved various places for carrying the master's message. Swami Vishnu-devananda was master's private secretary, and most of the master's great work has come from this brain. And he has got a recording brain. It's really a recording, he's like a tape recorder. He hear the master's voice. He will never take one note, and everything is recorded. And then he'll come and put the paper in the typewriter. He just type it, and he'll bring verbatim. If you don't believe, that's the way. And that's the kind of brain is there. And here a brain, he can penetrate all the young people's heart. Where it is? This penetrates the heart of the young people. He has got a knack of moving into your heart.
Whenever I think of Swamiji and his boundary breaking mission, where are boundaries? Do you know? Have you seen any boundaries? Where are boundaries? What makes the boundaries? Have you ever asked yourself, what makes the boundaries? He and me. I don't think the boundaries are not created with the world. I don't know if you have seen this phenomenon. When I was in South Africa, I went to Cape Town. A friend of mine took me to what is called the Cape Point, right there, the tip of it, the tip of South Africa. And he said, "Do you see there, Swami?" I said, "What?" Look closely." I said, "Yes, I'm looking closely, carefully." "Do you see that line there? This is the Atlantic and that is the Indian Ocean." One sheet of water. One homogeneous sheet of water. So what causes these boundaries, these divisions? Huh? Our friend here said man. Huh? You know, pardon? Exactly. Thank you. Thank you. That's what I was looking for. That is what I was looking for. The human mind. It's not so much man as such. It is a human mind because, please remember, do you know what my flesh is made of? This one here? Perhaps you don't know my diet, do you? Some vegetables, tomatoes, potatoes, I love bananas. All this is just unrotten bananas. Not exactly rotten bananas, these are unrotten bananas. They will rot the moment I leave the body. So is this, so is this, so is this, so is everything. Why is it that potatoes jumping out of the same bowl, we all get together, sit together, eat the same potatoes, and a little later the potato that went into this mouth becomes this mouth, yeah? And the potato that goes into that mouth becomes that mouth, and a little later he starts shouting at me. Why is that? This potato is shouting at this potato. Same potato. So long as they were in the bag, so long as they were in that bowl, they were living quite happily. Understand? It is the human mind that is prejudiced, that is conditioned, that is stupid and that is foolish, and that converts potato into predestination. It is that foolish human mind that converts potatoes into bullets. Otherwise, potatoes are harmless, wonderful. Bananas are wonderful, sweet. So that this is what yoga tries to do. This is what Swami Vishnu has been trying to do here. This is what Swami Satchidananda has been trying to do in the United States. Yoga is not mere gymnastics. Yoga demands that you should breathe. The air shouldn't go in and out, but you should have some control over it. Some discipline, some control over even that. Some control over your body, some control over your prana or the life force, some control over your mind, and there it is. Some control over your mind. The few who are or the many who are seated to the right of Swami Vishnu just now, gazing at the fire pit, have been through a discipline during the past few days.
more effectively and in a better way, they will find this therefore a very valuable period to listen to people's ideas and to go back with added wisdom, with reinforced confidence and with a newer vision, so that their teaching of yoga would now be filled with a new quality of idealism, new quality of spirituality, and also a new factor that yoga has a place in the total evolution of mankind in this world. And so quite apart from its benefit to the individual who comes and learns yoga from you and to whom you teach yoga, it also has got a much wider significance in the context of world affairs.
North America, why young people would want to reach out towards Eastern cultures. Would this indicate that Christian or North American religions are not answering questions or are not serving their people spiritually?
Well, the answer is there because they don't feel like going there again, and they are coming into the Eastern thoughts. The very reason is, I won't say that there is nothing that could teach them the real peace and the way of life. It's the interpretation, because I quote a lot of quotations from Bible itself, and many of the monks appreciate it and say, oh, is this the meaning behind that words? They take it literally. The way they present doesn't seem to be satisfying the present day minds. Otherwise, the philosophy is same, it's genuine, very beautiful, founded by a great prophet. There could be nothing wrong in it. Only if you don't present it properly, it seems to have lost its very life. So people don't seem to understand. Say the children are asked just to do this, do that, don't do this, don't do this, do this, do that. If they ask the question, why should I do and why should I not, stay away from, there don't seem to be any intellectual answer to satisfy their minds. But yoga gives them a satisfying answer. In fact, in the name of yoga, we never ask them not to do anything. We just tell them, I say, this is what beneficial to you. And if you do this, it's not beneficial. This way, we allow them to choose. We never force anything to them. We just give them the facts.
Thank you very much.
It's my pleasure. Thank you.
So what causes these boundaries?
Started about a decade ago, 10 years ago, when probably at my lowest point in my life, when I needed spiritual help at the very most, some miracle brought me to Paris to help Conrad Rooks with his film, when at that time, Swami Satchidananda was a guest of Conrad Rooks, who was also at that time helping him out with his life in yoga. And I remember the day, one morning for breakfast, when I just got there, when Conrad Rooks said to me, he says, Peter, you ought to meet my Swami. I think he can solve your problems. And I remember we were sitting there for breakfast. He had called the Swamiji, and he had come out, and the elevator doors opened up, and there was Swami Satchidananda gloriously walking towards me in orange robe. It's the first time I'd ever seen a sight like that. And as he walked towards me, all the pain and all the anguish I'd felt disappeared. As I got involved in the yoga, I learned really how to draw and paint. I knew that to draw is to be an open channel, and what I would do is I would put my pen on the paper and I would just let the drawing occur. It's as though if somebody was watching over my shoulder and seeing the drawing occur, myself and the individual were equally surprised as to see how the drawing developed. I learned about the characters, the sages and saints, and all the beautiful drawings that came out actually from the drawings themselves. It was really fabulous because now I had all of this behind me. I designed products that went all over the world. I painted Swami Vishnu's plane.
Peter, the last time I saw you was before Woodstock, and at the time we were talking about cosmic consciousness and a lot of things that that we were thinking about at the time, and a lot of things have happened since then, including Woodstock.
Well, you can take, for instance, the Woodstock Music Festival. 400,000 kids, and who opened it up? Swami Satchidananda, who you just spoke to. Now we come over here, and we're in Montreal, and outside Montreal, and you see a crowd not quite as large. It seems that now the whole United States and Canada, that whole part of this world, is becoming a new Mecca. The kids today, not even just the kids, but the youth-oriented people, the people who are young and are looking for change, are looking towards spiritualism. The whole drug scene and that's happening is just bypassing now. But the reality,
In what way, bypassing?
it's bypassing because people looking for spiritual enlightenment and haven't found out about yoga and haven't found out about certain ways go that route. And sooner they find, of course, that the real way to go is through yoga. Yoga is an ancient science. It's 5,000 years old. Through yoga, you can reach levels that are far beyond any chemically induced kind of situation. And it's clean and you're in total control. It's fantastic. So you have Swami Vishnu here in Val Morin. He's got the center here. It's one of the largest centers, I think, in Canada. Swami Satchidananda has a fantastically large center in New York, and he's got 10 centers around the country. Swami Vishnu, again, has 44 centers around the country. This has all happened over the last few years. So many centers with so many hundreds of thousands of students. You wonder why. The thing is that America right now is cluttered with technology, and it's good, it's evolution. But alongside with the technology has to come some sort of a spiritual lift, and yoga is the way. And I would say the new hipness is yoga. It used to be other things, you see, but now finally it's a particular kind of a level that cannot be surpassed. You can only get deeper and deeper into it. And it has taken many years for the East to bring it to the West.
Tell me about the plane that you have helped Swami with. It's an incredible creation.
Yeah, that was really beautiful. Swami called me up a few months ago and asked me if I would like to decorate his plane, and he will do a boundary breaking trip, which means he will go from place to place around the world and probably entering places like Czechoslovakia or the Arab countries or Israel and so forth, and show with this beautiful bird, fully decorated in cosmic designs, which emanate joy and bliss and hope. And he calls it the plane of hope. He's going to break the boundaries, in a good sense. And for many weekends, I met Swami Vishnu once in Fort Lauderdale and once in Washington and once in New York City. And each time at the airport, we had a tremendous gathering of people, and we would decorate the plane. So taking it through the whole United States, we decorated the plane from airport to airport, each time a little more. And by now, the plane is finished. I will have one more decorating session with Swami Vishnu that will be in London next month. And over there we're going to land in Scotland, and then we will enter London in the airport, and we will have this huge peace convention similar to what we have over here. And we're going to bring all of these goodwill that have been started to be created in this country now, and bring it to Europe, just the way the Europeans, London brought over the Beatles. We're bringing this over, and it's fantastic. It's manifesting itself across the whole United States now. I'm not that familiar with Canada, but God, this looks pretty heavy.
Thank you very much, Peter, and I wish you and your voyage of peace and love an awful lot of success, because God knows we need it.
Thank you.
Peter Max.
yoga is to keep the mind at ease always. The peace of the mind is not always maintained because of its various emotions and desires based on the I-ness and mine-ness. It is a selfish feeling of the individual that creates all the problems, and as long as they project their own image and they want to possess things, they want to call everything as mine, 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 they are trapped in the very same things that they possess, and that disturbs the peace a lot. So if the mind is free from all those attachments, then it's more peaceful, it rests in that peace always. So it is that attachment, it is that selfishness that brings anxiety, and until it gets something it wants, even if after it gets, there is the anxiety of holding it on, not losing, the fear of losing comes in. So it creates a lot of problems to the mind. And in a way, even all things that you call mine, mine, or in a way you can translate them as the mine that's planted around the war field. Because whatever you call mine, mine is going to bother you much. Look around you, how many things you can call mine, mine, mine? Don't you think each mine is ready to explode on you? So the simplest thing is just simply fuse out them. Take the fuse out. How? Simply label them as thine. Once you call it thine, it's no more yours. You are just using them for the benefit of the humanity. Once the use is over, you just leave it for somebody else and go away. And the mind rests at peace. So the very basis of all the disturbances, of all the individual restlessness, communal or even national, is the individual's ego. The ego can be expanded as national ego, racial ego, even religious ego. My religion, your religion. So all these my is the one that causes all the problems. That's why the keynote of any religion is to dedicate yourself, sacrifice this selfishness, be relieved of this I-ness and mine-ness, the ahankar and mamakar. Then the mind rests in peace always.
Well, it all started about a decade ago, 10 years ago, when probably at my lowest point in my life, when I needed spiritual help at the very most, some miracle brought me to Paris to help Conrad Rooks with his film, when at that time, Swami Satchidananda was a guest of Conrad Rooks, who was also at that time helping him out with his life in yoga. And I remember the day, one morning for breakfast, when I just got there, when Conrad Rooks said to me, he says, "Peter, you ought to meet my Swami. I think he can solve your problems." And I remember we were sitting there for breakfast. He had called the Swamiji, and he had come out, and the elevator doors opened up, and there was Swami Satchidananda gloriously walking towards me in orange robe. It's the first time I'd ever seen a sight like that. And as he walked towards me, all the pain and all the anguish I'd felt disappeared. As I got involved in the yoga, I learned really how to draw and paint. I knew that to draw is to be an open channel, and what I would do is I would put my pen on the paper and I would just let the drawing occur. It's as though if somebody was watching over my shoulder and seeing the drawing occur, myself and the individual were equally surprised as to see how the drawing developed. I learned about the characters, the sages and saints, and all the beautiful drawings that came out actually from the drawings themselves. It was really fabulous because now I had all of this behind me. I designed products that went all over the world. I painted Swami Vishnu's plane.